Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's gourd sauce. To the rescue. Hold on. Let me make sure all these settings are done. Okay. We're on it, boys. Let me see if it's streaming on the Twitch. It is. Let's go. Alright. Everything's set up. I'm really late to the party. Apparently Tier 2 didn't have a streamer. But I came to change that. So, let me get caught up here. Tar Heels, AlphaTauri, currently leading by 1.2 seconds. Justin, trying to hold off Rusty, who's really close. Is he going to go for a move? Yes, he is. Oh, kind of gets pushed off track. If you got a warning, definitely can get that removed. Heisgran, F1ception, very close as well. Villeneuve as well. A 5-car battle for P2. Craig a little bit further back with a 3-second time penalty. Going really slow there. Was kind of curious. What detail do we want? Tire doesn't really matter. I guess we'll go for position change as of right now. On board with... Oh, never mind. Lots of action. Heisgran trying to hold off Justin for P2. Rusty just behind. Followed by F1ception and Villeneuve as well. Heisgran's really low on battery. All these drivers, apart from F1ception and Villeneuve, very low. Tar Heels 2.6 seconds up the road now. Alright, sorry about that, peeps. So, Tar Heels, 3 seconds up the road. I don't think anybody's going to catch him within the last 2 laps. Rusty, big dive bomb. Heisgran holds it. Oh, and we have a spin. Justin goes around. Rusty is all over the back of that Ferrari. A little bit of a tap. Everyone's really low on battery apart from F1ception. Villeneuve trying to make a move as well. A little bit of a battle back here. 3-car group. Justin, Maestro, and Dutch. Keep an eye on that as well. Tar Heels about to start the final lap of the race. Butler gets a 3-second time penalty. Don't think that's going to affect him too much. Heisgran with 0% battery. Here comes Rusty with basically 0 as well. F1ception, all that battery saved up, jumps Rusty. Look at this 4-car battle for P2. Who's going to get it? Nobody knows. Big snap of oversteer. Butler retires in the pit lane, though. Rusty loses to a... Ooh, sends it really deep. Villeneuve with the switchback. He's going to get it. Villeneuve taking the position back from Rusty. Craig trying to hold on for P6, but because of that time penalty, it's not going to work out. F1ception battling for P2. He had that battery saved up. Timed it perfectly. Tar Heels entering the final long right-hander. But we're going to stay on board with these 4 cars. Will there be any more position changes? Villeneuve has a little bit of battery saved up. Highscrand burning it. F1ception is going to hold it. Will Villeneuve be close enough for a move? I do not think so. He is not. Craig is going to lose out to Northern Canuck in the end. Loses out to Dr. J as well. I'm very curious. Oh, the gap wasn't as close as I thought it was. Justin with the spin on lap 6 drops him to P9. That is not what he's going to want. And this is your final sprint order. Tar Heels, the man, 5.4 seconds clear of the field. Absolute beauty. And, yeah, oh man. I jumped into it, quite the chaotic time. Good lord. So many battles to watch. Okay, stream's up still. Good, good, good. Whew. All right. Can get a grip with myself a little bit here, so I'm ready for the feature. Tar Heels in the AlphaTauri led the field by a good margin. He's going to be the man to beat. F1ception, fantastic drive. He came, I mean, at least when I jumped in, he was P5, came home in P2 with that ERS saved. Highscrand comes home P3. I think he started P3. Villeneuve jumped Rusty at the end for P4. Rusty comes home in P5. A double Mercedes Canadian duo, Northern Canuck and Dr. J, come home P6 and P7. Craig in the McLaren loses out on P6 due to his 3-second time penalty. Justin with his spin on lap 6 drops him to P9. He's going to want to climb up to the field. And Maestro clears the top 10 in the AlphaTauri. Here we go. Feature race time. All right. Sip of water here. It appears I am in a car, so I am going to have to retire the car in the pit lane. Apologies for that. I will make sure not to start the lobby early. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Strategy doesn't matter. Car doesn't matter. Setup doesn't matter. We are retiring in the pit lane. Oh, don't want that. Gonna make sure I actually have to somewhat keep watch of when the race starts. I'll try and stay somewhat close to the back of the field, just so, like, I can maybe catch the action at the back of the field, just to see how that goes. But I will not stay close enough to actually make contact with anybody. Do not worry. It put me in the worst car, too, the Alpine. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. "15 people watching and nobody commentating? SMH, y'all disappoint me sometimes. Where's the love? Where's the cheer for these tier 2 boys, huh? I think Rusty sent that to the wrong chat, but it's all good. You won a championship in the Alpine? Yikes, Ramsey. I don't know what to say. I hope you won it when it was Renault, when it had that nice yellow paint job. Both? Beautiful. Nico John saying disgruntled for the win? That might, you never know. Love you too, Craig. Won both. Damn. We might be here a while because I think Rusty said we're starting at 15, which is in 2 minutes still. So, yeah. Any tier 2 guys in here besides Craig? You guys excited? Craig, 3-second time penalty. You lost out on P6, buddy. You gotta clean it up. You can't be like me. You know what? While we're waiting, I'm gonna have a couple cookies. A couple St. Patty's themed cookies. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of my fellow Irishmen. You got the pace? I know you got the pace, buddy. Just don't go off track. It's tricky here. Should be starting up soon. Under a minute. There it is. You guys are about to witness the slowest F1 start of all time. Oh yeah, nailed it. Wait, I want to see all the action. Oh, I hear contact. Oh no, I see a couple of spins. Go Butler. Don't mind me actually racing. I am just... I joined not as a spectator, so I have to retire the car in the pit lane. Oh, Butler with a move! Contact! Oh, I hear more contact. I wish, Nico. I wish. Butler did spin, so I... Oh, well... Oh, somebody... Oh my god, somebody took out the speed limiter sign! Alright, let's retire. Alright. This is where we want to be. Alright, so Mr. Tar Heels leads the pack by 7/10. From what I remember, the top 5 are the same apart from Villeneuve and Rusty. Canuck has stayed P6. Justin has jumped up to P7. Dr. J's dropped to P8, and Craig has dropped to P9, and I think Dutch was P11. I'm not sure about the other positions. Couple of drivers pitting, so might have been a little bit of contact here and there. But Tar Heels already almost out of DRS. Oh, there's a spin! Is that Dr. J? It is. Trying to get the car going. Drops to P13. He was P8 right behind that main pack. It's definitely going to hurt him, but a safety car is always possible. Tar Heels 8/10 ahead of the pack. Has not separated himself as much as he did in the sprint. Oh, another yellow flag. Is that Dr. J again? No, that's Canuck. Canuck drops to P10. A couple of issues for the Mercedes boys. So we stay on board with Mr. Tar Heels now escaping DRS range just, though, 1.8 seconds. Or 1.08 seconds. Lap 3 of 20. F1 pushes himself back into DRS range. That car might be a little more grippy, a little bit more downforce perhaps. Tar Heels might be taking more of a straight line setup. We'll go through the field here. Pretty close battle between Salad Tosser, Dutch, and Mr. Disgruntled. Northern Canuck holds P11. Dr. J makes a move on Tafer for P12. Hines, Dr. Maestro, and Butler, I believe, are the 3 drivers that had to make a pit stop. Salad Tosser trying to get by Craig. Craig gets pushed off track a little bit. Craig going back onto the inside. Big lockup for Salad Tosser. Holds P7 though. Craig trying to get by. No movement at the front. Rusty right on the back of Heiskran. Villeneuve not far behind. And Justin up to P6. Cars ahead of him are going to have to watch out. He's very quick. So a little bit of a 2-car battle now for P1 and P2. F1 staying within that DRS range, and then Heiskran, Rusty, Villeneuve, and Justin all within DRS range of each other. And then another pack of Salad Tosser, Craig, Dutch, Disgruntled, Northern Canuck, and then a little bit further back is Dr. J. He's still in it though. He's just got to stay, put his head down, try and catch up to the pack. Maybe a safety car will bring him back into it. Villeneuve looking like a move on Rusty. Rusty's got way less ERS, and he makes it. Villeneuve gets by Rusty, takes back P4 where he started. Rusty's not giving up easy, though. He's right on the back of him. Oh, and Disgruntled. Oh, what's going on here? Northern Canuck gets by Dutch. Not sure if those two had a little bit of an issue, Disgruntled and Dutch, but Northern Canuck takes advantage, jumps back into the top 10 as these guys try and catch up back to the main field, not far behind. Dr. J, that 3.4 second gap is around the same of where he was last lap. Maestro and Hines seem to be duking it out a little bit. Hines on a much quicker tire, though. Maestro looking like he's going to try and go to the end on those hards. Not a bad choice. Butler does not seem to be having a good time. Looks like he had to do another pit stop. Tar Heels, once again, not escaping DRS of F1. He's just staying in it. Oh, and Heisgran just misses out on DRS. That's going to give Villeneuve a nice chance to catch up to him. Might actually be able to make a move here. He's close enough. Heisgran with no ERS. Easy move for Villeneuve, who jumps into the final podium position. Rusty struggling a little bit, almost a second behind these two. He was just on the back of Villeneuve. Under pressure from Justin, who's trying to climb his way back up the field. F1 being able to stay within DRS has brought him close to Tar Heels. Tar Heels not going to have it as easy as he did in the sprint. Will F1ception be able to get close enough to maybe make a move? Oh, and Rusty Oil Can, the first driver to fall victim to the track limits of Portimão. 3 seconds added to his time. If the pack stays as close as it is right now, that is going to hurt him at the end of the race. Is there any moves going on? Does not look like it. Everybody's pretty separated right now. Dutch did get by Canuck. Heisgran really under pressure from Rusty now. No ERS. Does have DRS to defend, though. Villeneuve has caught back up to the 2 leaders. So now a 3-car battle has ensued for P1 here. It looked like Tar Heels and maybe F1 were able to escape. Dr. Maestro falls victim to the track limits. Northern Canuck looks like he has just gotten by Dutch. Dutch looked like he may have had a little bit of a moment. But we're going to jump back to the top 3 here. Tafer, a 3-second time penalty as well. Tar Heels and F1 have managed to save up some ERS here. Villeneuve had to burn a little bit of it to catch back up to them. I don't think he's going to try and go for a move here. I think he's just going to try and build up some ERS once again. Rusty 1.5 seconds back of them. Heisgran under pressure from Justin. Owen Hines! And a VSC has come out. Hines DNFing just at the exit or the entrance of Sector 3. And that slows down the field. Justin has it in the bag. I don't know, Baz. It's pretty close. These top 6 are duking it out pretty well here. This is going to allow a lot of people to build up some ERS once again. If the VSC lasts as long as it did for Tier 1, this is going to be a lap plus of VSC, so everyone's going to be able to equalize here on ERS. Oh, and it's ended in Butler to make his race even worse. A drive-through penalty under safety car or VSC. Tar Heels gets a good jump on the restart, has built a DRS gap to F1, has escaped the DRS gap. F1 burning ERS to try and maybe get back in it. Villeneuve and everybody else behind him is going to have DRS. I think Justin is going to make a move here. Butler retires in the pit lane. Do not blame him for that. Justin actually is not able to make the move. Heisgran having some good top end. He doesn't look like he burnt too much ERS. So everyone stays equalized here. Beautiful view of all the cars going by here. Justin is all over Heisgran. I think it might be a Might be a matter of when, not if. The Aston Martin trying to get out of this little Ferrari sandwich he's gotten himself into. The closest battle on track currently. Villeneuve and F1 as well, further ahead. Justin, I don't think that was track limits, but it's damn well close. Don't think a move's going to happen for Justin just yet, but Villeneuve might be able to make a move. Tar Heels has escaped DRS. So F1 is at the mercy of Villeneuve. Villeneuve almost gets by him at the start straight line. So that is Villeneuve up to P2, and now with that flying top end has also gotten himself... is actually out of DRS now. Oh, big lockup for Villeneuve. And is F1 going to try and get him back? Oh, the lag. Because of Butler leaving, Villeneuve on the PS4 not able to defend his position right there. Side by side as they go through the middle of Sector 2. Villeneuve really pushed to keep that position, but he's lost 5/10. Big snap of oversteer. Pushing ERS to hold that position. This is helping drivers like Rusty and Heiskran and Justin catch back up to the two of them. Tar Heels pulling away a little bit, 1.8 seconds. The battle behind him is definitely helping him pull a bit of a bigger gap. Villeneuve is going to be at the mercy here, but he's 0.8 ahead of F1. He might be able to defend it. Heiskran 0.2 ahead of Justin. All three of them burning ERS, but Justin with 82% of it. He's going to have to start using it eventually, though. Heiskran goes for a move on Rusty. Kind of pushes him off track, and Rusty, because of it, loses 2 positions. That corner is very difficult to go 2x2 in, and Rusty with a big snap of oversteer has now dropped out of DRS. He's still going to get it because he activated it at the activation line, but he is now 1 second back of the 2 ahead of him. Villeneuve slowly catching him back up to Tar Heels, now at 1.6 seconds. Justin still fighting with Heiskran, trying to get by him. Justin hoping he doesn't turn into Oscar at Jeddah, where all he saw was the back of a Mercedes wing. Oh, that was definitely track limits for Justin. That's at least one warning. Not sure how many others he's had, but he clearly hasn't had more than 3 or 3. So he's at least at 1. And we're nearing, we're basically at the halfway point of the race. Tar Heels 1.7 second gap. Justin all over Heiskran. It's going to be an easy overtake. Jumps into P4 and now looks ahead to the Alpine of F1ception. He's got a lot of ERS to burn, so I think he's going to catch up pretty quickly. And the pit stops for these medium drivers should start really soon, either this lap, the next lap, or the next. It's going to be within these 3 laps. Villeneuve has now pulled 1.3. It's getting closer to Tar Heels. It was at 1.8 a couple laps ago, so Villeneuve slowly catching up. And Maestro, and that's a full course safety car. I think Maestro decided to maybe go into the pit lane, and I think he may have missed the exit or the entrance of the pit lane. And that is going to allow everybody, fortunately Salad and Disgruntled, already made their pit stops. And because everyone's going to pit right away, they're not going to be able to catch people. If anything, they're going to lose out on more positions. But that's going to bring the entire field in. It's similar to Tier 1. I think at lap 14 we had a safety car and everybody came in. The whole grid coming in now. Make sure to not get a penalty. You definitely don't want that going this slow. You can just take it nice and gently. You're not going to miss out on any positions. Rusty puts on the hard tire. It looks like Rusty did not have a fresh set of softs to put on. Same for Craig. Dr. J further enough behind. He's not going to get held up. Doesn't really matter, though. He wouldn't have lost any positions, really. You know what? I think Salatasser and I don't think Salatasser actually lost any positions, so he got lucky with that. The safety car came out right after he pitted. Same for Disgruntled. I think Disgruntled was P9 as well. But oh man, that puts Rusty's hopes of going further up the field in jeopardy on the slower tire and a 3-second time penalty. Same for Craig. He's going to have very quick drivers behind him on way quicker tires. The hards, not a great tire at Portimão. You kind of want to be on the softs or the mediums. So this has brought everybody equalized, has brought Dutch, Dr. J, and Northern Canuck back up to the main pack. It's going to allow them to try and make up some positions, and this pack has been very equal. So it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top. Tar Heels, though, I mean, he's led every lap from the sprint to the feature race so far. He's led every lap, and I think the safety car is going to be his biggest challenge. Can he pull away enough from Villeneuve? Because usually how it goes is if the leader can pull away, then nobody else is really going to be able to catch him very effectively. But if one driver stays within DRS, it usually means that the rest of the cars behind him are going to be in DRS, and it just keeps everybody close. And Heiskran disconnects from the lobby, but he has disconnected under safety car, so hopefully he can get an invite from Canuck and hop back into this race. Safety car should be in this lap. Unfortunately, Heiskran has not gotten back into the session. Hopefully he manages to before the race kicks off. Safety car is in this lap. Tar Heels will lead the field to green. Unfortunately, the drivers behind Heiskran are probably going to get affected by this because they cannot pass Heiskran until the line, and the AI is definitely going to have a slower launch. Actually, oh no! And the AI pits Heiskran. Why? Was this Heiskran that did this? I'm so confused. And the game put him on... Okay, the game put him on 12 lap old mediums. Why? I don't know. And that has just killed Heiskran's race. Unfortunate for him. That is terrible to see, but back to the front of the field, Tar Heels almost a 1 second gap to Villeneuve already. Oh, and Heiskran joined, and he's going to see an absolute travesty in front of him. But Northern Canuck and Dr. J, 8 and 9. Dr. J just holding off Dutch right now. Villeneuve has... It's jumping up and down. It was at 1.1. It jumps to 1. Tar Heels is pushing hard. Villeneuve's going to have to do so as well. Tar Heels' fastest lap of the race, 1:18.9. Yeah, that pit strat, eh? Heiskran puts on brand new hards, and the game brings him in immediately to put on the tires that he was just on. Like, yeah, 10 out of 10 there, F1. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you put on new mediums, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, it still sucks, but nope, just put on the tires that he already used. Okay, game. Gaps are relatively similar between everybody in the top 9. Yeah, that's definitely rough. Heiskran doesn't quit out though. He came in, put on fresh softs, maybe try and steal fastest lap. There could be another safety car, you never know. Villeneuve has pushed into the DRS gap. He's not going to get it this lap though. I think he was just outside of that 1 second gap. He is really close though. Look at the time he just made up. He was 1 second down. He's jumped up to 7/10 just using that ERS. I don't think ERS would have only done that. I think Villeneuve might be running a little bit of a higher top speed setup. Rusty not as close to Justin as he would like. Kind of a four car pack for the lead currently. Salatosser on the mediums, his tires are going to be way better than the softs at the end of the race. He's held on pretty solidly. He's P6 currently. Canuck has jumped up to P7, did get by Disgruntled. We did not catch that. Dutch also got by Dr. J. Dr. J struggling a little bit, has fallen out of that car group currently, under pressure from Craig. But Tar Heels no longer out of the DRS threat. He is well within it, as well as F1ception. Justin just gets in it as well. So it's going to be a 4-car battle for the lead, it looks like. Oh, and Rusty with another 3-second time penalty. That's going to drop him really far. That 3-second would have already dropped him to P9. Oh, and Craig with a 3-second. I don't think that's going to affect him as much, though. I mean, he won't be able to get by Dr. J for that final point spot, though. Well, not final point spot for us, but in real life. F1ception is kind of falling out of DRS, though. He's going to want to get back in it. And Northern Canuck does get by Rusty. I think Salatosser got by him as well. I think Rusty might be driving a little upset, which will always affect your driving, but that tends to happen. Sometimes you have those races. Dutch just out of DRS of Disgruntled. Might be able to take P8. Dr. J holding off, and there is Heiskran with the fastest lap, a 1:18.7. 2/10 quicker than Tar Heels' lap, so Heiskran had pace, man. It's really unfortunate what the game did to him. But, I mean, he's a trooper. He's still going. Hats off to him. And now, I think Villeneuve's best strategy here is he's Probably wants to build some ERS gap for the lap 22 lap. I think that's going to be his best opportunity to get by. Justin did get by F1. F1 didn't have DRS safety from Villeneuve. So Justin now ahead in the final podium spot. GK definitely clapping his hands right now. His prediction is looking better than it did before. Salad Tosser, a little bit under pressure from Canuck and Rusty. Disgruntled and Dutch a little bit further back. Dr. J under pressure from Craig. Those softs still should be the quicker tire. Even with that penalty is going to drop Craig out of P10 if he gets by. Tar Heels! 3-second time penalty for the leader of the race. And that has completely changed things. Reminiscence of me in Tier 1. Tar Heels leading the race. Gets a 3-second time penalty, and I know that is heartbreaking. But he's got to keep going because you never know who might get a penalty behind him. We've seen Justin go off track at least once. We don't know if Villeneuve or F1 have gone off track, so he's just got to stay in the lead and hope that the drivers behind him get a penalty as well. But the drivers seeing that are definitely just going to be thinking, okay, so now it's a battle for P2 on track because Tar Heels has that penalty. The only difficulty is it's going to be difficult for Justin to get by. Yeah. Just got to go flat out. It happens. It's a tricky track. You never know when people are going to go off track behind you, so you just got to stick with it. Into the final right-hander we go. When they cross the line, it will be 3 laps to go. And it's going to be difficult for Justin to get by because Villeneuve is going to have DRS from Tar Heels ahead of him. So Justin will probably have to make an overtake in one of the corners. Northern Canuck under pressure from Rusty, but it won't make a difference if Rusty gets by. Canuck definitely went off track there. That's at least one warning. Won't make a huge difference. Craig getting by Dr. J. Dr. J going for the switchback. Great switchback maneuver. Holds P10. But Craig's still coming back at him. Oh, Craig definitely goes off track a little bit there. Dr. J just holding the 10th position. Really close. I think they made slight contact, but Craig is ahead. But Craig, with those time penalties, is not going to be able to stay in that position. Tar Heels, unfortunately, is still only 7/10 ahead of P2. With that DRS, it's going to be impossible to break it. And Justin is kind of just sitting here with nothing he can do. I think he is going to save ERS, though. That is his best option because he's going to have to make a move on Villeneuve somewhere. Alternatively, Villeneuve can try and get by Tar Heels on this lap and then have a car behind him that won't actually matter, which will stop Justin from getting by him. So Villeneuve is in a very strong position. F1 has dropped out of DRS, so unless something a little crazy happens here, I don't think he's going to be able to challenge for the win. It is probably going to come down to these 3. And it's probably going to be coming down to P2 and P3 because unless both of them get a penalty. Oh, and I think Dr. J and Craig have a moment together. I'm not sure what happened. We didn't catch it. Yeah, F1ception has to actually try and keep up here. He's out of the podium positions right now because he's dropped such a big gap from Justin. He's around here. You know what? We'll go leader here to keep track of the penalty. Final lap. Villeneuve is pushing. He's going for that on-track win. Gets by Tar Heels and now has that gap, but Tar Heels isn't backing out. And this is giving Justin an opportunity to try and get by Villeneuve. He's gonna push. Oh, this is gonna be close. Tar Heels not giving up, and Justin breaks that little bit later. Bit of contact. It's crazy that we're watching P2 and P3. Justin gets by Villeneuve. Justin holds P1. Villeneuve might not have been the best move to try and get by Tar Heels. Tar Heels wanted to hold that position on track. Fantastic stuff, and there's still half a lap to go. Tar Heels is not giving up. He wants to win this on... He doesn't care about losing out on P1. He wants to show that he has led every lap and would have won this race without the penalty. Justin 5/10 ahead of Villeneuve as they come to the line. Tar Heels will cross it first, but Justin takes home P1. F1ception too far back. Tar Heels will hold the final podium position, and Villeneuve will be absolutely gutted. That P1 was in the palm of his hands, and Justin just took it away. Salatosser comes home with a really strong P5. Canuck recovers to P6 after falling to P10. Rusty, with those penalties, doesn't actually lose out on any more positions, holds P7. Disgruntled P8. Dutch comes home in P9. And Craig actually holds P10 with the penalties. I'm sure there's probably going to be some incident reports between Craig and Dr. J. Not sure what happened between them. Tafer comes home in P12, and Heiscran, what could have been for this man, was in P5 in the game. He got booted out of the lobby. The game pitted him in terrible conditions, and he is the last driver to come across the line. Oh, baby. I'm very glad that I hopped in to stream for these guys, at least for the feature, because missing out on that ending would have been actually tragic. Where is GK? GK's gonna come in here with quite the prediction, saying that Justin had it in the bag, and he was right. Tar Heels just made too many little mistakes for the track limits. Got the time penalty. Yeah. Good on you though, Heiscran. You had a really good pace, and the game kind of just screwed you. It happens. But, hey, you still got some good sprint points, so it could have been worse. But here is your leader. Justin fell out of the points for the sprint and came all the way back to win the feature. Tar Heels drove basically perfectly, but not perfectly enough. He led every single lap. Unfortunately, leading the last one with the penalty lost him 2 positions. F1ception, kind of the best of the rest, wasn't able to keep up at the end to steal the final podium position. Northern Canuck will actually take P5 with his better sprint result, or his better finishing result than Rusty. And Salatosser, Heiscran, Disgruntled, and Dr. J close out the top 10. Whew. What a race from Tier 2. Yeah, Aston Martin is doing quite well because they got GK and Ace in Tier 1. They got Justin and who's the other Aston Martin? Oh, there wasn't actually another Aston Martin that raced, I don't think. Nope. But Justin brought home as many points as he could, so very good combined constructors for for Aston Martin currently. Oh boy, that was a good race, fellas. That was a good race. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in for Tier 2. That was a fantastic feature race to follow. Lots of action throughout the entire field. And glad I was able to catch it at the end. So that has been your host, Gort Sauce. Join us next week for, I believe, where are we racing next week? Let's check the calendar real quick before we head off. So for the Tier 1 and Tier 2 boys, we will be racing. Oh, so this is the big exciting race. We are racing at Baku next week. And it is one of our special events this season. If you guys do not know, there's a lot of special events going on for the race, or for races in the season. Only 12 races, but a lot of interesting things piled on. So Baku next week for Tier 1 and Tier 2 will be a 4-stop minimum race. So that means that you have to come into the pits 4 times. So you will be running 5 different sets of tires. The one you start on, and then 4 other sets of tires. So ideally, I think the best thing to do, some little tidbit information for the people that are curious on what to do. Do 1 qualifying run. Well, first, before you do that, take the quicker tire strategy at the start. So when the game asks you how many tires you want to take the 4 softs instead of the 3. Do 1 qualifying run. Retire, no matter where you go. And then do start on the mediums. And then pit 3 times onto the softs. That was a fantastic race, Villeneuve. You're gonna catch a lot of fun overtakes that you did. Managed to catch, I think, most of them, or all of them. But yeah, that has been Tier 2, Round 2, Season 10 for PRL at Portimão. We will see you guys next week on the same time at Baku for round number 3. Have a good night or morning, wherever you guys are. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.